We're just following this story here on Six News, a bit of a makeshift protest set up outside of the New South Wales Central Coast residence of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. It's that property he purchased last year. Morgan Cox is a father who was on the ABC's Q&A program in March, and he gained a bit of attention because he asked a question about housing and he mentioned immigration in that, and he said he's facing homelessness, and he set up this caravan. You can also see the banner out front, "Everyone deserves a home, Albo." We spoke to Morgan Cox just a few minutes ago here on Six News.
3.5 million people are in poverty, facing homelessness, and the situation is untenable. The future is looking really bleak for all our children, um, and even now, a lot of people are suffering pretty horribly, and I need to do something about it. Nothing's happening. The politicians are all talking, but nothing is happening. So I just wanted to see if I can get them to listen to us.
I know you spoke on Q&A about, your obviously you're a father, you've been facing potential homelessness. Can you just talk to us about kind of the reception that you got to that to your appearance on Q&A when you asked that question? How have you felt about some of the feedback you've gotten?
Do you mean in a call from the panel or?
Oh, well, from the public to your question.
Okay, well, from the public has been mostly positive. Of course, there's been a few people who accuse me of racism or whatever, but for the most part, it's been greatly, yeah, positive and encouraging. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think literally millions of people feel the same way, and that's why it sort of blew up.
It is something that you've talked about, children facing. As I said, you're a father. I, as a young person, I can obviously attest to the fact that the housing market is not something I'm looking forward to dealing with in a few years. Especially for young people, why is it important for you to be standing up and taking this kind of action? Because obviously there's one thing, there's asking a Q&A question, but now you are taking some kind of real life action about this.
Yeah, well, the situation is desperate. There are homeless people living in my street. There are tents and in the bushes. There are people living in cars, elderly, vulnerable people living in cars in my local park, and all over the Central Coast. And I have no doubt that it's all over Australia. Um, Real people are really suffering, and it's getting worse, which makes me really fear for my own children's future as well. So I guess I felt that I had to take some kind of action. I didn't really know what to do. It's a bit of a guess, but I just hope that I can get the politicians to just listen, to just really listen to us, because something needs to change, something needs to be done. Talking is not working. All their promises of building houses have achieved nothing, and it's time to do something.
I know obviously in your Q&A question, you highlighted immigration as a big issue affecting the housing crisis. And look, you said in your answer just before that, yes, you cop some criticism for that. Do you think, or do you acknowledge though that there might be some other factors as well regarding construction, supply, etc., that are also having a significant impact, and it's not maybe just immigrants?
Oh, of course, it's not immigrants. And just for the record, my partner is an immigrant. I'm not against immigration at all. All I am asking for is that they manage the number of people coming in. And yes, there's absolutely a lot of other things we can do. I would love to talk about short stay rentals. I would love to talk about tax reform, negative gearing. I'd love to talk about maybe universities could build dormitories for some of their foreign students. I think we had 200,000 foreign students in February alone and zero additional houses. And obviously, those people need to sleep somewhere. So there's going to be an effect on all of the people, including these foreign students themselves. So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of other things that we need to talk about. Red and green tape on building homes. There's tons of it. The reason I went straight for immigration is because that is a thing that could be turned off tomorrow. It's literally, they did it during the pandemic. They cut immigration to zero, and they don't even need to go that hard. All they have to do is just manage the intake. until we can talk about all those other things and get the situation under control.
So just finally, you're in your caravan now. How long are you planning to keep up this protest action, and are you planning to do any other kind of or any other real life action as well? Now that you've established a bit of a profile campaigning for this.
Well, look, I wasn't really planning. I'd love to spend Easter with my family. Actually, that was my intention. But the election coming up, this is really the best shot that we have to move the needle to actually make a difference. So I made the sacrifice, and I think I'll aim to be here until it feels like we're making a difference. It feels like we, getting a response from the government. So that'll be my hope. And as for anything else, well, I'll keep that a secret too, because if I'd rather just keep that under wraps. But I'm hoping that this by itself will be enough to make a difference.